We'd like to say that in our opinion it is not suitable for children or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
Good night. We are starting another BBC Live Talk, produced by BBC of London and transmitted for all of the world. Today we are interviewing Eric Arthur Blair, best known as George Orwell, the famous British writer. Let's watch a little bit of his biography.
George Orwell was born in Motihari in the British India. His father worked on the opium department of the Indian Civil Service, and his mother had a big influence in his literary career. Orwell studied on the St. Cyprian School and later on the Eton College. In 1922, Orwell worked in Burma, posted on the Imperial Policeman. The experience in Burma resulted in the romance Burner's Days. Back to London, Orwell decided to live as homeless, what he had done in Paris, and to use it to make the book Down Out of the Paris and London. But his most famous books are Animal Farm and 1984, one of the most selling publications of the 20th century. Initially follower of the communism ideas, George abandoned the socialism thoughts when he learned of the atrocities and the lack of freedom in the communist countries. The book 1984 was a criticism of totalitarian regimes. In his work, he portrayed a fictional world in which the character Winston Smith was the one who persevered a sense of inner freedom. And Animal Farm, that is about the revolution made by the animals and led by the pigs that ultimately ends up take the power and control the farm where they lived. In the final, pigs built a dictatorship inspired by the Soviet Union of Joseph Stalin.
Our interviewers are Samuel Ribeiro, the Brazil reporter of BBC, Gabriel Bittencourt, the director of editors at CNN, and Gustavo Azevedo, reporter of the biggest Brazilian media group, Global. Thank you for coming tonight, George Orwell. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
We'll start our interview with Gabriel Bittencourt.
Hello Orwell, good night everyone. On your book Animal Farm, you make a critic of totalitarianism, more specifically to the Soviet totalitarianism in an astounding way. So I would like to hear in your words what caused you to make such an incredible critic.
I basically wanted to show how the advent of someone who only aimed for the power, independent of the principles and what led their main twist and the most beautiful projects, idealized by someone. Truth, a satire, and the book masked as lewd. I wanted to show as a very accurate picture, using animals to show a real attempt to implant the communism. Wow. I used the pigs to represent the leaders of the revolution. Even the choice of the name Napoleon to the pig who led the revolution was international marketing, a powerful with Stalin, created of a hate icon using Snowball and Trotsky and all other characters.
Thank you, Mr. George. One of the next, Samuel Ribeiro by Brazilian BBC division.
Mr. 94 is undoubtedly your most spectacular book, but one thing puzzles me. The happy end of Hope is a most new. Why?
I wanted to go all the feeling of helplessness that a subversive person feel in the book Sen. I wanted to make the reader feel like Winston and escape from the shackles of the novels where everything ends well. I was lucid and sincere. Beijo, George Orwell.
Thank you, Mr. George. And the next is Gustavo Azevedo, reporter at the biggest Brazilian media group, Global.
Good night, people. Good night, George. Why do you write so much about politics?
I always wanted to report the political hypocrisy and intellectual cordica. I wrote hundreds of articles, essays, reviews, and book reviews for newspaper and English and American magazines. I ended up getting more known for my essays than for my novels. By the way, when I served in the Indian Imperial Police in Burma in 1922, this time only served to watch my sense of dissatisfaction with any type, and especially in the British imperialist policy. I served in the police of India for 5 years, during which I raised imperialist, which I myself served with a force that even today I cannot explain.
We are nearing the end of our program. Would like to thank everyone, especially here, especially George for having the brilliant wiley of coming here.
Thank you for the interview and good night. Just a minute. I'm legend.
Thank you for hearing us and good night.